Cheers, people. Guess what? It's the last day of August, Thursday, August 31st, 2023. Cheers, people. Uh, Fair warning, for the time being, I do kind of need to talk about RAF and stuff from a practical point of view, okay? So I'm happy with how things are going with the album, but again, there's a need to talk about it, so I'll get to it. But so what's going on? Well, all I did yesterday, besides business, all day, selling records. Boy, the response is fantastic, people. And post them, like some of you all are posting them. People are already receiving. I'm using Media Mail, but people are receiving their records already. Post pictures, please, and if you do a review on your YouTube channel, or if you have a blog, please let me have the link. Which reminds me, there is another video that is online from the show. I'll post a link to it. Okay. There is not a train wreck on it, but there is a couple of notes. It's like, how did that happen? Excuse me, I'm just getting myself together here. One thing that I was thinking to talk about, or at least mention, is how some folks have talked about, or have mentioned that some of the watchers have mentioned how they are still struggling with substance abuse. And in my book, because I'm sober regarding polysubstance abuse. I like to smoke marijuana, and I don't consider that substance abuse. It's an herb, and I'm done with my days of overdoing it and abusing it. But I thought I would share a thought for those who are still struggling, or maybe see themselves as abusing something. I don't know about you, but I know for me, what got me to straighten myself out was just really bluntly facing the fact that I wasn't enjoying what I was doing, and there was an aspect of me attempting to erase something or make something more diffuse by being high all the time. It doesn't work, does it? Does it? It doesn't work. You know, we may forget, or we may be distracted for a time being, but when we come down, or when the clouds clear away, the situation hasn't changed. So I just want to encourage folks to be strong in whatever you're doing, and I hope that you can think better of yourself somehow, because I'm only speaking from my personal experience. That's what got me to take better care of myself, realizing that the opposite end of being trashed all the time, which was affecting my ability to function, was negative returns. It was just making things worse than what I thought I was obscuring. And since then, I've done a lot of healing work. A lot. I can say that. I've made amends where I need to. Take a hard look at myself, forgive myself as well as others, and also, besides stopping the substance abusive, polysubstance madness, other behaviors and other thoughts that weren't working for me. It's time to stop. You don't have to. It takes work, but you're worth it, aren't you? Sure hope you think so. I didn't play anything but my new record yesterday. Well, the only other thing I played was, in contrast, I have a picture disc of the Dillinger Escape Plan's first album. They just reissued that on colored vinyl, and so I played this thinking I don't like playing picture discs, but when I had a chance to buy this is all I could find was a picture disc of this album, Calculating Infinity. This was my introduction to the band. Played most of this. Plays pretty good for a picture disc. I don't think I'm going to buy the reissue. This is enough to have this. This is before Greg Picciotto joined the group on vocals. It's still the same frantic, manic energy, but I don't think I need to buy another copy of that. That's a good band, and when I met them, I even have some selfies of myself with Dillinger Escape Plan. Of course, another one of those situations where I'm the only minority. Not that yes, it does matter. It does matter. That's why I bring it up. It is important. Things need to change. I was the only black person there, and they even noticed. Ben, the guitar player, we had a good conversation. I love it when I meet people and they're impressive mentally, not just dunderheads. I've met plenty of those. Haven't gotten back to the other Arvo Zylo releases that he sent to me. If you see this, I hope you send me Scott Schultz's release from Lincoln. I used to be in a band with Scott. I'm curious about what you put out by him. I'd like to hear that and review that. So, what else is happening with you people? Tomorrow is Bandcamp Friday, and I do want to push it because I've been noticing since I've been having these steady sales, and they've been vinyl as opposed to digital or CD, I do see where, like, I don't know how many, but it's like yesterday I had some sales and I was real happy. Just sold an album, and I go and look, and Bandcamp has absorbed all of it. My revenue share is zero. So I sold a couple of records yesterday for $25 and $30 and earned zero. No money. It all went to Bandcamp. Businesses have to run, but I bet you Bandcamp could do fine if they took a smaller cut. Of course, this is never going to change. I think they take 15%. Why not take 10 and be nice to artists? You could still do just fine. I'm certain you would feel no pain if you cut back to 10% of your cut. At 15%, that hurts. Plaque Bleg. Maybe you've heard of the artist. They're from Lincoln. Really out gay leather duo, electronic. Really have amassed quite a following internationally. But recently, Roz, who's the front guy, has been complaining how he wants to find a different platform, how it irked him to see what I just saw. Here you've got sale, and you look and see, ooh, I didn't make anything. Ooh, I only made 30 cents on the sale. That's business. So anyway, I'm just saying that to illustrate how important the Bandcamp Fridays are, where Bandcamp waives that 15% and just charges some basic fees, which is much more fair. So please think about getting something on Bandcamp Friday. Bear with me, again. So I've been beating around the bush talking about this. Let me just go ahead and say this for those that need to hear it. This is psychedelic as hell. This is psychedelic, okay? I've been calling it sound tapestry and soundcraft, and that's what it is, and it's improvisation. But ultimately, what is my aim in doing stuff like this? It's creating a world to enter first with your ears to stimulate your imagination. This is so for me. The experience can be very psychedelic. Like, for example, if you are a person who microdoses mushrooms or just likes a bit of that in your life, put some of this on and see where it takes your imagination. These are still available tomorrow. Okay. I had a couple of mix-ups, and I got them straight. One with the person in Germany, and one with the guy in Norway. I'm making sure that he got enough. I got everything that he ordered. I'm getting it straight. Just right quick, since I'm talking about it, and I'm keep going there. These ear sculpture CDs that I'm on, I did not release, so they're not on my Bandcamp site. The German fella yesterday bought one. He bought ear sculpture number, I forget which one, but what I'm showing you is, this is all I have left, is these three. And if you're interested, you just tell me in your, $10 and then say, add an ear sculpture. I have 2 ear sculptures. One, that's my artwork on the front. I did this with Brett Harold Hart. Thank you, Brett, if you happen to still watch this. I still love you, man. I don't, I didn't move away from you. I still love you. And then ear sculpture number 2, another one of my pieces of artwork on the front and the back. There's only 3 of these left. $10 a piece. Let me know. If you buy our RAF, or if you buy the Woven Territories and you also want to buy one of the ear sculptures, just specify. Add $10 and say, I want an ear sculpture. I'm down to the final 3 copies. I thought I'd have these forever, of the soundtrack to the movie Life After X. And this has some good stuff on it. This turned out good. The cover graphics did not come out right. The resolution, when I checked it, this was part of learning experience, in putting stuff out, was getting the proper resolution of images, etc., etc. Okay. Okay, so enough of that. But Bandcamp Friday is tomorrow, and I am open for business. Okay, so before I go and go to the post office, I'll do one pull and see what it brings today. This is fairly... See, I haven't been pulling here because I keep thinking, well, I've shown everything over here, but how could I have? Let me see. Let's hope I pull something. Okay, I can already tell. It's a Fela. See, yeah, I know this area very well. This just makes me think again of the personal connection I have. Oh, Sekou. Sekou is his name. Sekou Neblet. He's not originally from Omaha, but he settled here. He's one of the people who walked to the freedom, the thing that people, that speech that Martin Luther King did in Washington, that people have been talking about this week, the anniversary of. Sekou was one of the freedom walkers. He walked to Washington, that famous group of people. Did they call them the freedom fighters? He was one of them, okay? I ended up in a reggae band with him in the 90s with all these other illustrious people hiding out in Omaha. He was good friends with Fela and went to Africa on regular trips and stayed with Fela, was good friends with Fela, actually shared Fela's wives with him. That's how close they were. Sekou is still alive. He's older than me. He's a bugarabu master. That's a percussion instrument from Africa. And besides him, I played with Mani Badian, rest in peace. Mani Badiane was another world recognized percussion master from Africa who I played with in his last years. He unfortunately, like a lot of people, he succumbed to substance, crack. But I played with these guys. And like I said, Fela, probably our first true black president in the world. My friend told great stories about Fela and hanging out over there, and he would live there for extended periods of time, and just talked about a lot of the propaganda that we hear and have heard over the years about black people and about Africa. That's what comes to mind when I pull this album by Fela, is all that information and all that history. I am at a point in my life, 68, even though I seriously hope to live a long time, but I do find myself looking at my back pages. Love that song by the Byrds. Or is that a Dylan song originally? But I do find myself looking back on my life and stuff. Thankfully, with a lot of gratitude and not a whole lot of regret. Not a whole lot of regret. That's a good feeling. It's a good feeling when I go out in public, like after the show and these last few days, having to go out to the post office and other places to get supplies and stuff. Every time I go out, I run into people who see me, and they honk the horn, Dereck, and it's like, and the regard from others whenever I run into people is really good. I ran into an ex-patient client of mine when I took the records down to Grapefruit, and he, oh, I've been thinking about you. I've been wanting to talk to you, and really wish I could get your phone number. I said, everybody wants my phone number. I'm sorry. No, it ain't like that. I'm closed for business. I told him I'm glad he's doing well. When I worked with him, he was a young man. He was just out of his teens. So seeing him, this has been, I don't know how many years. He's a man now. It took me a minute to recognize him, but thankfully he's okay and he's alive, But I'm thankful I've done something right, in my life where it's reflected back to me by people. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Bandcamp Friday for you folks that are ahead of us, 6 hours or 8 hours or whatever. That's why I'm talking about it today. Probably we'll talk about it again tomorrow, because I explained the significance, okay? And I want to say thanks to, I think it's John that sent this to me. Years ago, he had sent records to me, and we had a difference of opinion of some sort, and seemingly a fallout with a person I've never met. And here, once again, he's gifting me with wonderful things. Thank you, John. Thank you. Because I'm just me, mean nobody harm. I'm just honest. Sometimes honesty can rub people the wrong way. That's okay. We need to be honest. Okay, folks. Hey, Kareem and Stephanie out there, family. Good luck with things, okay? I'm sorry that it's such a struggle for you all just to get something together, just to get a job. Jeez. But I'm going to say it. I knew all along I didn't want to move out to California. I knew I didn't want to move out there for a whole lot of reasons. And part of what you all are dealing with is it. The increased cost of living out there, it's insane. So, best of luck to you. It sounds like things are moving in the right direction, but dang, what a struggle. Okay, people, talk to me.